Hello kids, welcome back. Today we're going to have unit number 9, the best bed, lesson number 2, grammar. By the end of this lesson, you are expected to identify comparative and superlative forms of long adjectives, to use comparative and superlative forms of long adjectives correctly, and to write sentences using comparative and superlative forms of long adjectives. Read and learn. Short adjectives: soft, hard, cheap, happy, long, small. Long adjectives: comfortable, modern, expensive, interesting, beautiful, delicious. What's the difference between long and short adjectives? Short adjectives are words of one syllable or two-syllable ending in Y. For example, soft or happy. However, long adjectives are words of either two-syllable not ending in Y or three or more syllables. For example, modern or interesting. How to use comparative and superlative forms of long adjectives. There are two forms to make comparisons. If we want to compare between two things, we use the comparative form. For example, this smartphone is expensive, but this mobile phone is less expensive. If we want to compare an object to a group of objects, we use the superlative form. For example, this smartphone is expensive, but this mobile phone is the least expensive. Now, what's the difference between the comparative and superlative forms of long adjectives and short adjectives? For the short adjectives, the comparative form is adjective plus er plus than. Superlative, the plus adjective plus est. For example, hard, harder than. Comparative form. Another example, hard, the hardest. Superlative form. For the long adjectives, the comparative form is more or less plus adjective plus than. For the superlative, the least, most plus adjective. For example, modern, more or less modern than. Comparative form. Another example, modern, the most or least modern. Superlative form. It's time for practice. Write the comparative and superlative forms of the following adjectives. When you are done, check your answers. Now, check your answers. Good job! Assessment. Read and choose the correct answer. Once you finish, check your answers. Now, check your answers. Good job, my dear students. Look at the pictures and read. My laptop is more expensive than Mike's computer. This is the most expensive laptop in the shop. Or, Mike's computer is less expensive than my laptop. This is the least expensive computer in the shop. Let's have some practice. You have to read and fill in the blanks. Use comparative or superlative forms of the given adjectives. When you are done, check your answers. Now, check your answers. Very good. Assessment. Read and fill in the blanks. Use comparative or superlative forms of the given adjectives. When you are done, you can read some possible answers. Now, read some possible answers. Great job. Pre-writing. Read and learn. How do you use comparative and superlative forms of long adjectives in sentences? We should follow the sequence below. For the comparative form, we start with the subject, then the verb, then more or less plus the adjective, plus, than, and finally the complement of the sentence. For the superlative forms, we start with the subject also, then the verb, then the most or least, plus the adjective, plus the complement of the sentence. Practice. Reorder the following words to form a sentence. Now, check your answers. It's time to write your own sentences. Look at the pictures and write comparative sentences using the given adjectives. And remember to use the writing checklist below. When you are done, you can have a look on some possible answers. Good luck, my dear students. Now, read some possible answers. It's the end of the lesson. You did a great job, my dear students. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.